We just need to review the footage really and see. I mean, obviously, looking at it now, they're reacting. The dust particles are reacting with people walking around in there, which wasn't actually happening before.
Ross,
so,
what cables do you need?
Who knows?
A bit disappointing.
No, I'll sleep better tonight. Put it that way.
See how easy it is to get carried away?
This is last night's ghost log, and our night crew have been stating in here all the things that went off last night. One funny bit here is dog decides to scare the life out of us and walks up the stairs into the bedroom and strokes its body at the end of the bed, walks around the bedroom and sits there. Can't possibly be anything in there tonight. Just quite funny. What we've always said on paranormal investigations is animals are particularly sensitive, so if the dog's in the room, the chances are the ghosts aren't. But it's good that they've logged that down. Another thing on here as well, it's always good to rule out the obvious, and sometimes when you're on an investigation, it's very easy to get carried away with believing everything is paranormal. And they had a video that kept switching off last night every few minutes, and it seemed to them that the batteries were being drained, which is a sign of paranormal activity. What it was this particular type of cameras have a standby facility where after 4 to 5 minutes they automatically turn off to save the battery, and the only way you can avoid that is to eject the tape out if you're running your signal to a main tape player downstairs and leave the tape out. It then runs constantly, and what they seem to have done last night is convince themselves that the battery was in fact having its power sucked by the ghosts. Sorry guys, false alarm.
The cameras have played tricks on the ghost detectives. Undeterred, they turn again to dowser Anne Moore. She believes the castle's ghosts can be found in rooms with high levels of paranormal energy that she detects with a pendulum and a chart called a biometer.
This is another of my instruments I use. This one is called a biometer. It measures energy, but what it does when you're actually doing room energy is it will actually tell you how much energy is in the room, and it does alter according to the activities in the room. Okay, so we'll go on up to the room where most of the activity goes on. Right, and we're going to take a reading with the biometer just to see what the energies are like in this room. I'll actually do it on the bed, I think. I'm using a pendulum here.
Why do you do that?
Because this is what we use with the biometer to give us the reading. When you actually learn to use a pendulum, you need to know the yes and the no. If you don't know that, then you can't use it. So you ask the pendulum, first of all, it goes into what we call search mode, and it's just going round because I haven't instructed it. Now I'm going to ask it to show me a no, and mine just goes side to side. So that's my no. So I then ask it to go back into search mode, which it does, and I ask it to show me a yes, and it goes backwards and forwards. Now, everybody's different because we all vibrate at different levels, and some people's yes and no may be clockwise, anti-clockwise, whatever. So everybody actually has their own signal. So what we do is, this is the area where we ask the first question. And the question that we ask is, show us the energy in this room. Now, what my pendulum is doing now is just searching. And it's picking it up. Once it's picked it up, it will actually give me a yes, hopefully, which it's doing now. And you then take it slowly along the measurement. And when it gets to the measurement that this room is actually vibrating at, well, right, almost to the end of the scale, which is almost 100,000. So that is very high. Now, the measurements, it's quite technical, all this, and I'm not very technically minded, I'm afraid. It's a special measurement that's been done, which I haven't actually got the paperwork on it with me, unfortunately, but it does actually explain how they work this measurement out, but it is a vibration.
Could these energy lines not be sort of magnetic lines in the earth?
Some of them are. Yeah, there's all sorts of reasons for them. In this part of the world, because we have a lot of underground mining, it does interfere with them quite a bit. So it does actually turn some of the positive ones negative. Overhead cables can do that sort of thing. All sorts of things which we actually do, which we're interfering with nature, if you like. And I see them as the veins and arteries of Mother Earth. And that's how they work, you know, just like blood vessels that we have. She has the same things, and she has the ones that flow up and the ones that flow down.
And how does this connect with spirits, with ghosts, that kind of thing?
They like the energy of the lines. Because
how do we know that?
Because we usually find them where there are energy lines, because they can pick them up very easily. Ghosts and spirits can work with electricity. We have electricity. Our aura is electricity. So they can pick those sort of things up very easily. The lines are just another kind of vibration, as everything is.
Another dowser, Anne Taylor, also believes she's a medium and can combine her skills to detect the castle spirits.
I'm fortunate that I do see things rather than feel. I can stand somewhere and immediately I know there's somebody over my shoulder, or there's somebody approaching me sometimes, or there's just somebody sitting in the same room. I just don't take any notice of it because I'm so used to it. I'm now standing in the doorway of the bedroom, entering into what I would describe as a busy room. The pendulum is starting to circle quite widely. And I feel there is quite an oppression here. There is a young girl laid on the bed. She is laid out with her hands across her chest in this manner. She has died in childbirth. She is possibly only in her early 20s. She was the young girl who lived here. She lies here quite at peace and is happy as her child is with her. But as I come around here, past the fireplace, there is a youth here. Again, he weeps. I feel he is possibly the child's father. Standing with him is the priest of the day. The priest is trying to comfort him. And in the corner, across to here, there is a monk standing by. He is a very strong character, very strong indeed. He is the oppression that I feel in here.
By day 2, the ghost detectives are convinced that the bedroom is haunted and are trying to use dowsers to detect paranormal activity. But can they actually reveal anything at all? Psychologist Dr. Christopher French is not convinced.
Now, dowsing is a very interesting topic. At one extreme, you've got dowsers who claim to be able to pick up on various kinds of paranormal energies. At the other extreme, you've got dowsers who wouldn't want to be associated with anything like that, but claim that they can actually detect electrical currents or underground water flows and so on. Now, the interesting thing is that for people who are using dowsing systems, whether it be a forked twig or a pendulum or bent rods or whatever it is, each of those systems is inherently very unstable, so a slight muscular movement will actually produce a very big effect. And when people have kind of tried to control tests of what's happening in dowsing situations and other similar situations like Ouija boards and so on, automatic writing, even though it doesn't feel to the dowser as if they are actually making the thing move, it turns out it is unconscious muscular movements that are responsible. Now you might say, well, so what? You know, the dowser is actually channeling some kind of an energy, and as long as they're able to produce the results, then that shows that dowsing works. Well, unfortunately, dowsing doesn't seem to work unless the dowser already has a good idea of where the target is, what they're supposed to be looking for.
That's what the psychologist thinks. But Ross Hemsworth has his own theory, the quartz crystal theory.
In a building like this, I think it would be good to carry out